Hey everybody, and welcome to Love Life Lounge. If you're head over heels in love and you think that's all that matters, let me tell you something, folks. Love is not always enough. Marriage is a big deal. That's why today we're going to talk about the top questions you need to ask before you get married. So, if you're thinking about getting married or if you're already engaged, I urge you to listen up. So, let's dive right in. Setting future goals is a crucial step in any relationship. The first question you need to ask is about your future goals. What are your dreams and aspirations? What do each of you want to achieve in your lives? This could be anything from career ambitions to personal milestones. Where do you see yourselves in 5, 10, 20 years? Visualizing your future can help you set realistic and achievable goals. Do you want to travel the world, start a family, climb the corporate ladder? These are all important questions to consider. It's important to make sure that your goals are compatible. Aligning your visions can strengthen your relationship. He wants to retire early and move to the beach, but she's on track to become a CEO and has no interest in slowing down. These differences need to be addressed early on. If your goals don't align, it can create a lot of tension and resentment down the road. Open communication is key to avoiding these pitfalls. Don't wait until you're already married and have a mortgage and kids to figure out that you're on different pages. Discussing your future goals now can save a lot of heartache later. Remember, the journey to achieving your goals is just as important as the goals themselves. Enjoy the process and support each other along the way. Now let's talk about money. Money can be a source of joy and stress, often at the same time. How are you going to handle your finances as a couple? This is a crucial question that can shape your future together. Do you plan to have joint accounts or keep your finances separate? Each option has its pros and cons, and it's important to weigh them carefully. Who's going to be responsible for paying the bills? Will you share this responsibility or designate one person to handle it? What are your spending habits like? Are you a saver or a spender? Understanding each other's habits can prevent future conflicts. These are all important questions to discuss before you get married. Open communication about finances can set the tone for a healthy relationship. Money is one of the leading causes of stress in a marriage, so it's important to be on the same page from the get-go. Addressing financial issues early can save a lot of heartache later. One person likes to spend and the other likes to save, and they resent each other for it. This can lead to arguments and tension. You need to be able to create a budget that works for both of you, one that respects both your needs and goals. And you need to be on the same team when it comes to your finances. Working together can make financial management a bonding experience rather than a source of stress. All right, next up is the big one. Kids. Do you want children? And if so, how many? This is a conversation that a lot of couples avoid because they're afraid of the answer. If one of you wants children and the other one absolutely doesn't, that's a deal breaker. And even if you both agree that you want kids, you need to talk about how many you want and when you want to have them. How do you plan to discipline your children? What are your thoughts on education? It's important to be on the same page when it comes to raising children. Next up, let's talk about work. Your career is a significant part of your life, and it's essential to discuss it with your partner. What are your career aspirations? Do you have a dream job or a specific career path you want to follow? How will your careers impact your relationship? Will your job demands affect the time you spend together? This is especially important if one of you has a demanding job that requires a lot of travel or long hours. How will you manage the time apart? Are you willing to make sacrifices for your partner's career? Sometimes supporting each other means making tough choices. Are you okay with being the one who stays home with the kids while your partner works? This can be a big decision that affects your family dynamics. These are all questions that you need to ask yourselves before you say "I do." Open communication is key to understanding each other's expectations. You just need to make sure you're both on board with the plan and that you're both willing to support each other. Mutual support and understanding will strengthen your relationship. Where do you see yourselves living? Do you want to live in the city, the suburbs, or the country? Are you open to relocating for work? These are all important things to consider when you're thinking about spending your life with someone. You need to make sure that you're both comfortable with the idea of where you're going to live. Let's talk about the in-laws. How close are you to your families? How do you think they'll factor into your married life? This is an important conversation to have because your families are going to be a part of your lives, whether you like it or not. If you don't get along with your partner's family, it can put a strain on your marriage. It's important to set boundaries and to communicate your expectations early on. Conflict resolution. Let's be real, folks. You're going to have disagreements, every couple does. But how you handle those disagreements is what matters. Do you tend to bottle things up, or do you let it all out? Are you a yeller or a silent treatment giver? It's important to talk about how you handle conflict because you need to be able to resolve your disagreements in a healthy way. But you need to be able to communicate effectively and respect each other's opinions. Religious beliefs. Faith is a deeply personal matter, but it's important to discuss your religious beliefs with your partner before you get married. Do you have compatible beliefs? How important is religion to each of you? Will you raise your children in a particular faith? These are all important questions to consider, even if you're not particularly religious. Personal values. Now this is a big one, folks, because your values are the foundation of who you are. What are your core values? What's most important to you in life? Do you value honesty, integrity, loyalty? What about family, friends, career? It's important to make sure that your values align, because if they don't, it can lead to a lot of conflict down the road. You need to be able to respect each other's values, even if you don't always agree with them. Last but not least, let's talk about health and lifestyle. How do you take care of your physical and mental health? What are your eating habits like? Do you exercise regularly? Do you smoke or drink? These are all important things to discuss because your health and lifestyle choices will impact your relationship. You need to be honest with each other about your health and your lifestyle choices and make sure that you're both on the same page about how you want to live your lives together. So, there you have it, folks. Those are the top questions you need to ask before you get married. I know it's a lot to think about, but trust me, it's better to have these conversations now than to wait until later when it could be too late. Marriage is a beautiful thing, but it's not always easy. So go out there, find the love of your life, and don't be afraid to ask the tough questions. Thank you for tuning in. Until next time.